Hey guys, welcome back to Olivia's Blooms. Today we are doing maybe my most favorite activity and what made me fall in love with gardening, and that is making some arrangements with some of the cut flowers that I've grown. So we're here in my kitchen. You'll have to excuse any noises you might hear. We've got lots of children running around and pets. For my supplies, I have buckets of gorgeous flowers. I harvested most of these in my last video, one of my recent videos. And I have out a variety of my vases. I usually make my arrangements and then pick the vase that sort of matches it the best. This is most of the vases that I have. I have some clear. I usually have some jars out because I know I'm gonna give some of these away, and jars are perfect for that. And then here are some of my special vases that I like to use. I have these gorgeous milk glass vases here, and this matching set I got as a gift from my wonderful husband. Those are from West Elm. I have these 3 black vases that usually reside here on our kitchen island, and these neutral white vases that are probably have been my favorite and are so versatile and easy to make flowers look good. And then the last few pieces of supplies, I have rubber bands. I save these anytime I go grocery shopping or get rubber bands, and I try and reuse them. Sometimes I'll have to maybe just wash them with a little soap. I have scissors. You should use sharp scissors. These are not very sharp scissors, thanks to my family, but they'll do the job. And I've been using this flower food and I really have liked it. It's called Flora Life, fabulous flower food, and my flowers have been lasting a really long time. It's eco-friendly, it's easy to use, so I add that to my arrangements, especially if I'm going to be giving them away to someone, to make sure they last as long as possible. All right, so how do I like to make my arrangements? There are so many different ways that you can make arrangements. There's tons of videos out there, instructional, and you know, different people definitely like different styles. There are so many different beautiful styles of bouquets or arrangements you can make. You know, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. For me, what I typically do, although I've been trying to get out of my comfort zone, but for the most part, I have been using zinnias as focal flowers. I have the most zinnias this year. If I have some dahlias, I'll probably use those as my focal flower if they're large. And I tend to like to keep a limited color palette. I find that I usually only use about 2 to 3 colors. And I'll show you what I mean here. So let's just pick some zinnias to start. I'm going to start with these Queen Limes, Queen Lime Red, and these are so pretty. So let me pick through and see which Queen Lime Reds I have. Okay, so these will be, they're a little small, but I think I can still use them as my focal flower, but they're gonna be the inspiration for this bouquet. So I kind of look and see, all right, what colors do I see in here? These are more of like a pinkish red. Pardon my son. These are more of on the pinkish side of red, the cooler side, not the hot side. So I might see if I like using these. I'm not sure if I'm loving those. Let me try. And here's a good example. So here's like a more hot red, and these are more of like a pink side of red. I'm gonna see how I like some of these lime zinnias, since there obviously is some lime color in all of the Queen Limes. So I think that looks pretty. Now I want to pick some spikes. I I've been using my snapdragons this year for spikes. You could also use celosia. And let's see if, no, I'm not feeling that. Let me check over here. I've got a lot of these plum blossom, and yeah, I think that plum blossomy color goes really well with these pinkish red. So I'm gonna grab a couple of these, and I've got plenty of these. I am starting to get sick of them because I've used them in many of my arrangements, but when I'm giving them to someone new, you know, that person hasn't experienced them all season, and so it's perfect for giving away. And I try and just have a few spikes here and there. And next I'm gonna do some filler flowers. And let's see, I have a couple. I don't usually use dahlias for filler flowers, but these are a little bit on the small side. I think that color might look really nice. Let's see if you can see these. Oh, snapdragon wants to fall over. I might have to replace that. I think this dahlia might be a little bit too much of a light pink. I think I'm going to try something else. I think these cosmos are also going to be a little bit too much on the light pink side. Well, actually, I kind of like that. I think that actually looks really good. I'm going to do a couple of these fluffy cosmos. I have plenty of these. And again, I'm staying in like the pink and chartreuse and white family so far. Grab another snapdragon. Okay, I need some more filler in here, and I hesitate to use these because I only have a few and they pretty much go with everything. I think I'm going to be giving this bouquet to a friend, so I might splurge and use this beautiful silver color, which I think is just going to complement these perfectly. So I'm actually going to start with this because it's so big. I'm going to bring these flowers in around it, and I think that will make even nicer arrangement. If I had several smaller stems, I'd probably put them around, but because this is so big, I'm going to fill these in here. I think that'll look really nice. Try and nestle these flowers in the stem so that doesn't look like one giant big poof in the middle. This one is a little too bendy. I think I'm going to save that for a different arrangement. Looking pretty. Okay, let's see what else we can add in here. I have this. Hey, Zavon! I have this purple celosia too that I think will add a really nice texture and a little bit of bounce. So I'm gonna grab a couple of these. I think this will go really well in here. I'm eyeing my purple basil. I have tons of it and it just dresses up every bouquet. It might be a little much with this Dusty Miller here, but I'm going to try it. Sometimes you just have to try. Sometimes you just have to try it and see. Maybe as like a little dark accent. I'm kind of loving it. And I do have this one dahlia that is just calling to this bouquet. And when it's for someone else, I really like to dress it up. Let's see if I can fit her. Oh yes, look at that. I wouldn't be mad if someone brought me this. I think that's probably enough, but I like to really fill mine with color and beauty. See if anything else here. Oh, I might not be able to resist putting these silver straw flowers in here. Oh yes, yes. Look at that silver color. I love these too because they just, I think it's so fun to have a bouquet. So this one has all my favorite elements. It has some aroma from the basil. It has some texture with these straw flowers, and it has some bounciness in addition to beautiful color palette. A couple more celosia. I'm really loving how this is turning out. And that other silver straw flower. And maybe one more of the basil because I do have a lot of it. Let's see. And this, even the blooms on this basil are gonna match perfectly with this. Maybe if I have a smaller stem like this, just stick it here. All right, I'm gonna call this one done. And isn't that gorgeous? So, since I'm giving this to a friend, first I'm going to make sure I pull off all of the bottom stems. And with this basil, I'm just gonna save that and use it for cooking, since it's still delicious. And I'm gonna pick my vase. I think I'm just gonna go with the small vase. And so I'm gonna tip a little bit of the flower food in here. All right, I give up on this. The snapdragon really doesn't wanna stay up. I'm gonna find a different one. Just going to tip a little bit of the flower food into my vase. There's measurements on it. I'm just eyeballing it and adding some water. Now I try and take the vase and I measure where I need to cut. I like these to sit right at the rim of the vase. You could, if you want, have it up a little bit, but I like it to just look like a full handful of beautiful flowers. So I use this to measure where I'm gonna cut. And I like to keep the stems as long as possible. It's just easier to make sure they don't run out of water if they reach all the way to the bottom. And you want to make as sharp as a cut as possible because you really want these stems to soak up the water. And what I do is I try and see first how it looks without a rubber band. Sometimes it'll be a little too loose. This one's holding pretty well. And sometimes you'll need to rework the flowers a little bit, but this one's holding pretty well. I might even take this very uncooperative snapdragon and see if I can now fit it back in. Right here in the middle, get some height. All right. Let's get a close-up on this one. Okay, here she is. Here is the beautiful bouquet we just made for my beautiful coworker. And I'm pretty happy with that. All right, let's make another one. Okay, for my next bouquet, I've got a lot of these pretty peachy yellow zinnias. So I'm gonna grab some of these. Let's see what I have over here. Oh yes, beautiful, look at this one. So pretty. This is gonna be like a bouquet of sunshine. And 4 spikes. I might use, this might be too many different colors. I have these pretty orange snapdragons. Could also use, I have a few Madame Butterfly, if you prefer. Kind of like that look. I don't know how I would describe it other than maybe like a starburst. So I'm gonna go with the Madame Butterfly as my spike element. Let's see how I like the lighter pink. I think it contrasts too much with this darker peachy color, so let's do that for a new, different one. And I also have some of these Cinderella peach zinnias, and that color might go nicely. Let's try that. Nope. I tend to be a little bit picky with what I want to fit in a bouquet, and that's okay. I'm gonna try a couple of these Cosmos. And that's what I love about these Cosmos, is they tend to go with almost everything. I think that looks nice. I'm gonna put in some of these Cosmos. Let me try some of these Queen Lime Orange too. They have that same sort of neon. I don't want to do too many zinnias though, because I feel like then it's too much of the same texture, and I like to mix up sort of the different textures, and so I tend to stick with just one color of zinnia, but I'll probably, look at this. This has been fun to try and work with. Look at that twisty bendy. Definitely not making things easy. Let's see where this takes us. All right, I'm gonna bring in some of the Queen Anne's lace. That green goes well. Here's some more. The beautiful Madame Butterfly Snapdragons. Some more of that green color. Now I have some other fun yellow elements that I'll probably stick in. The first being this interesting celosia that was supposed to be much bigger, but I'll take this little pop of fun. Put it right there. I also have beautiful yellow straw flowers. Again, bringing some more texture. This is almost starting to have like a tropical feel. I think I have another yellow straw flower somewhere hiding over here. With some yellow status. Let's add that in. Oh yes, here's my yellow straw flower. Oh, this must have been out of the water. I'm gonna use this dried, so much for that one. But I did find a yellow status. And I think I'm actually going to take out these Cosmos. Just not working for me right now. I do have the Prairie Sun Rudbeckia, also a nice bright yellow color. Nope, that's not it. Let's try that again. Prairie Sun Rudbeckia. That goes nicely. We got a hole right here that I can put that in. These again are hard though to use in bouquets. They don't really hold their own shape. And with me, I like to jam pack a bouquet full of different flowers. I don't use a lot of filler, so the flowers really need to kind of hold up. I do have another small one here. Oh, it broke. Not going to be using that. I still need something else here. And this is where I think if I had some more green foliage, that would be a perfect accent to this. I think I'm gonna call this one done, and because it's a smaller arrangement, I'm going to, I think, put it in my white vase. This little white one. That means is I might actually be able to use this shorter one. So I'm going to add my flower food. And I'll just stick this somewhere, maybe in a bathroom, just a little pop of sunshine. Unexpected. I find too, and I don't know if any of you guys experience this, but I tend to be really critical of my own bouquets. And I'll make one and I'll be like, I don't love it, but it is what it is. But then when I come upon it later, I think, what was I thinking? This is beautiful. I don't know if you guys do that to yourself. I tend to be way too critical. But I still have fun doing it, so. Now these are going to be very short stems, so I don't expect this bouquet to last super long, but that's okay. I'm still going to get to enjoy it. All right, here's my little starburst bouquet. My son would approve. There's lots of yellow in this one. And as what usually happens, I'll probably fuss with it just a little bit to get the flowers exactly where I want them. And I've just about had it with this twisty one, but beautiful. I love it. All right, let's make another one. All right, I am dying to use these big fuchsia, purple, whatever color you want to call this, zinnia. And I've got a lot of these. Could probably make a big arrangement with these if I wanted, but let's see what we have. All right, and I know for sure I'm gonna want to use the plum blossom. Always looks good with these because again, it has that same kind of dark pinky color. Let's see if I have enough of those left. Oh yes. Adding the Maryland plum blossom. This one's probably going to give me trouble. And I mentioned in my harvesting video that snapdragons are geotropic, and so if you don't stake them, you could end up with very twisty ones, which is nice and fun, but it can also sometimes just be a pain. So I may wait and put this one in at the end where I can manipulate it a little bit better. I've got a lot of these light lilac, and I think that light pink might look good. Let's see how that looks. Yes, I think I like that contrast here with this color palette. So I'm going to add some of these lilac zinnias. Got a lot of these. And these are different enough because, you know, they're different size and color from the big purple zinnias, so I don't find that it's too repetitive. And I'm definitely going to be using, I think, these pink dahlias as well. I think that will look nice. Maybe. I know the cosmos are going to look good with this combination because I've used them before, so I'm going to use cosmos as well. Look at this fluffy beauty. Gorgeous. Sometimes these cosmos can be a little bit floppy headed, In that case, I'll try and put them more towards the center of the bouquet where they can be supported by other flowers. Definitely gonna do some pops of this fuchsia. Some of the bouquets just make themselves, and some I have trouble matching colors with, but the more I do it, the more used to it I get. And I already know that this purple basil is gonna make an appearance in this bouquet as well. That's gonna be the perfect accent. I also have this little fun pop of pink. I wanna put that in there. Cosmo. Okay, this one's almost done. I have plenty of these lilacs, so I can stick a couple more in. Let me do another one of these celosia. Just a little bounce. And let's end with some purple basil. This is gonna be really pretty. Oh yes. Love the way that looks. I've got plenty of the basil, so. Just putting a little bit around each sort of edge to ring it in this purple basil. So pretty. And I've got more of all these ingredients, and I might even repeat this and either give it away to someone or put it in a different part of my house. I'm gonna do one more basil right here. Perfect. All right, now what vase do we want to put this in? I'm thinking it would look especially pretty in this white vase because there's some white lighter colors in here. So I'm gonna fill my vase. Here's a look at this beauty in all her glory. And I did have to rubber band this one. The stems were just a little bit short and it was a little too loose, but 1 out of 3 so far is not bad. She's similar, but still a little bit different from the first one we made, which is a little more silvery. And just a note about basil, I find that when I cut it, it can sometimes wilt. But it usually, if you let it conditioning just means sit in some water in a cool place for 24 hours, it almost always perks right back up. So if it wilts on you, don't get too discouraged. Okay, we still have lots of beautiful flowers left. Okay, I've been eyeing these big coral zinnias. I think I want to do another tropical vibe. And I'm pretty sure I have another one of these. Might even have 2 of these. And if I had some white snapdragons, I think they would pair perfectly with this coral. I don't have any of those, but I do have a couple of these apple blossom, and I think that pairing is very pretty. Peachy coral. So I have 2 of these. I'm gonna grab those. And going along that sort of peachy theme, I'm gonna grab some of the Cinderella peach. Let's see how that looks. Oh yes, love that. Let's do some Cinderella peach. This teeny tiny little zinnia. I'm thinking some yellow might also look nice in here. Although I do have a lot of zinnias so far. Let's see how these dahlias kind of look. Again, they just don't, they're not the right color vibe. I could have also gone the sunset route with these orange, but I like what I have so far. I think this light green is gonna go well. I'm gonna put some of those in here. And I might add, let's see how this little, my one feverfew looks. This has more of a toned down yellow, and I think this is more of hot colored. So I'm also gonna try, I have a couple stems of Sarenth that might look pretty. And here is the Sarenth. Oh yeah, I like that. I'm gonna add a couple stems of the Sarenth. Another peach zinnia. I'm gonna call this one done. Even though it's on the smaller side, I think it's a nice little tropical treat. Ooh, this to me says white base. So, okay, I found the perfect little white base for this tropical treat. I put in my flower food. Let me fill it with water. Measure and cut. Okay, right there. Okay, here is our tropical mini arrangement. Very pretty. The Sarenth maybe will look better down here. All right, I know what I want to use next. Okay, I just cut my first branching sunflowers, and they are this kind of dark chocolatey orange. This is a good stage to cut them at when the leaves are starting to open. You can even when they're less open, you can cut them. But I think I'm going to use these to do a darker, more fall-inspired arrangement. And I've got some of these more red zinnias. I think I might put some of those in there. Ooh. I've got the perfect dark red snapdragons I've been waiting to use. Some of these. I'm gonna like this Moodier bouquet. Oh yes, beautiful already. Let that last one go. Here you are. I've got lots of these red ones. Now these sunflowers are nodding a little bit, so I'm hoping their heads will stay up a little bit better in the vase. We'll see. Move you over here. And then one of these red zinnias. Put you right here. Another red snapdragon. Ooh, this one's looking a little dead. I think I'm gonna get rid of this one. I might use some of these red celosia. Kind of a fun little interesting pop. And I've got these orange straw flowers that are beautiful. I think these will be a really nice element. They really complement well, I think, these sunflowers. I'm gonna put some of these in here too. Again, something fun to also play with. Let's do 3 of these. Got tons and tons of them. Whatever I don't use the straw flowers, I'll probably try and dry, although ideally you take them right from cutting to drying. You don't get them wet first, but it's not the end of the world. I still find it turns out pretty well. Okay, ooh, look at this. I am loving this one. Now, I have some more orange zinnias, and I'm not sure I want to use that in here. I think I might save that for more of like a sunset bouquet. But I think what would actually look nice is this little pop of white and yellow. Let's see how that looks. Maybe right here. No, not loving it. All right, and I think to finish this off, I'm gonna use some pretty purple basil. Oh, look at all these straw flowers. All right, just a few more straw flowers. Why not? Spoil ourselves a little bit. Oh, another red zinnia. Gotta throw that in. Can't leave any zinnias out. Love the noise too. All right, let's see how the purple basil looks with this. I am loving this one. Oh yes, oh yes. Oh my goodness. This might be my favorite one I made today. This is so pretty. Oh yes. All right, basil. Now's your time to shine. One there. Ooh, I'm not sure what base I'm gonna put this in. It's gonna be a big one. All right, I think this one is done. Pull off the side shoots. Oof, this is pretty. All right, I think, I'm tempted to give this one away, but I think what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna put it in this vase. Take a look at this beauty, and as those sunflowers open up even more and the snapdragons open up even more, oof, it's just gonna get more and more beautiful. Oh, I love this one. All right, we still got more flowers. Okay, I've been eyeing this pink and lime colored zinnia, and I think this might finally be the one that matches with my pink dahlias. Yes, let's do a lighter pink arrangement. Oh yeah, that's gonna be pretty. And I've got some really special Queen Lime blushes I've been dying to use. Oh, the color on this, it's almost like a neon rainbow. I've got some really fluffy ones here. Oop, one fell. Oh yes. Beautiful. I'm gonna keep this one pretty simple, I think. And let me spread out the dahlias a little bit more. Okay. I think I'm gonna add this very pretty strawberry colored straw flower. It's sort of silver and strawberry. Yeah, that looks really nice with this color palette. And maybe a couple cosmos. Let's see how those look. think you belong. I think you can stay, Cosmo. And I'm not even sure I'm gonna add any spikes. I think I'm trying to only use a few stems with this one because I wanna fit it in this skinny, taller vase. So I might stop with these few. Let's see if I can jam these stems in there. But I'm loving this little, almost like a unicorn bouquet. Might have to remove some of the zinnias, but that's okay. All right, let's see if we can fit this in this small vase. It was dicey, but I managed to fit this little pop of perfection into this vase, so I am not at all mad at it. That'll be fun to just stick somewhere as a little surprise. All right, my family is coming to take over the kitchen, but I threw together this orange and yellow beauty. So I'm gonna put this one in a vase, and I'm gonna show you our final results. Okay, and usually what I do when I'm done is I take a look at the flowers I have left when I'm done making arrangements, and I'll probably pop some here and there where I've got extra. So I've got this beautiful queen lime zinnia that I didn't use, so I'll probably pop that in here. It's a little easier to do when they're not rubber band, but you can make it work either way. Oh yes, beautiful. And let's see, I've got these couple orange ones. Maybe I'll see if I can pop them in here. Yeah. It's just sort of a way to make sure they're all full and that I use all of my flowers. So I'm gonna finish doing that and then we can take a look at everything. Okay guys, here is a final look at everything we made and I am loving it. So pretty, so fun. And you can see that at the end when you kind of fill in with your extra blooms, everything sort of looks fuller. But I'm gonna go find some beautiful spots for these in my house, and I hope you had as much fun making these today as I did. Thanks. Oh, do you guys like watching this? Beautiful. Oh, now you're back.